Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Bringling. Namaskar, friends. Namaskar, entrepreneurs. Welcome to Bringle Talks Design Your Unicorn Tuesdays. And today's theme, as we promised last week, is IP, intellectual property, legal, and finance. How to protect, fund, and scale your unicorn. It's a very important topic which actually kills so many startups out there. Because if your dream is not protected, it's already stolen. I have also seen this many times. We are also fighting many IP cases at this point in time. You know what? India won freedom in 1947. But the real independence will come when every Indian is free to dream, create, and own what they build. When we look back at the last 75 years of independent India, we see progress, pride, and perseverance. But if you ask me, the real revolution hasn't begun yet. It won't be fought on borders. It won't be fought in boardrooms. It will be led not by politicians, but by entrepreneurs like you. Because the future of India doesn't depend on politics or policies. It depends on people who dare to dream big, really big. And yet, what I see today breaks my heart. So many founders, so many brilliant ideas, so many sleepless nights of sacrifice. But when success finally comes knocking, they lose what they created because they never protected it. That's not just business loss. That's a loss of national wealth. Let me tell you this truth behind protection. A startup without protection is like a soldier without armor. We live in a time where ideas travel faster than the light. And here is the irony. Your idea can change the world, but only if the world can't change your idea. Think about it. A young innovator from Pune creates an eco-friendly textile. A founder from Bangalore designs an AI tool for rural education. A women entrepreneur from Delhi builds a mental health app for teens. They all start with passion, but passion is not protection. And one day someone else takes their model, registers it, scales it, and leaving the original creator behind. This is happening every single day in India. Not because of our people lack intelligence, but because we underestimate the power of systems. We still glorify struggle, but ignore structure. We romanticize hustle, but neglect protection. And the result, our best creators become invisible. Our dreams become someone else's reality. I don't know how many have seen this movie, forgetting the name of the movie, but it's a beautiful movie about why India was the first inventor for airplane, but how it was killed by the Britishers that time, and then eventually somewhere down the line Wright brothers became the first inventors. We have to work on this why, a nation of protectors, not just producers. The next revolution of India will not be about just creating ideas, but about protecting and scaling them. If India wants to be the startups and skills capital of the world, we must change one thing. We must protect what we create. Because ideas are India's new gold mines, but unprotected gold gets stolen. We don't just need unicorns, we need ethical empires. We need creators who don't just chase valuation, but build value for generations. This is what Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao stands for. It is not just a slogan, it's a call to awaken the spirit of innovation and integrity that once made India the world's wealthiest civilization. Remember, our ancestors gave the world mathematics, astronomy, medicine, trade, and philosophy. Today, our generation must give the world something even greater, purpose-driven entrepreneurship. By 2047, we can become a country where every youth is a job creator, not just a job seeker. Where startups don't die because of lack of funds, but grow because of structure, protection, finance, and governance. And here is the fear and the realization for you. You know what is more dangerous than failure? Is unprotected success. Robert Kiyosaki also spoke about this in his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Let me tell you a story. There was once a brilliant young founder, full of ideas, energy, belief. He built an incredible app. It started growing fast, but he never registered his brand, never filed his IP, never structured his company. Within 2 years, a global firm copied the same model, hired his best employees, and took over his market. The dream was gone, The founder didn't lose to competition, he lost to complacency. And this is not an isolated story. It is a story of 90% of the startups that fail, not because of product market fit, but because of lack of protection market fit. And that is why we must change the narrative. It's not enough to innovate. We must institutionalize innovation. We must create systems where our ideas outlive our lifetimes, because every unregistered patent is a lost legacy. Every ignored legal structure is a stolen dream. And every unprotected startup is a risk to India's transformation story. The world's next superpower won't be defined by armies or assets, but by how it protects its innovators. There are many countries in the world who are actually asking Indians to register their IPs in their country to get their control with their countries. And that is why I always say Indian startups are not Indian. When we talk about Vision 2047, we are not talking about GDP growth or global rankings. We are talking about awakening a billion entrepreneurs. Imagine an India where every child is taught how to turn ideas into ventures. Every startup is built on systems, not struggle. Every investor funds innovation with confidence because legal and financial structures are clean. Imagine a Bharat where every founder contributes not just to wealth creation, but also to Mission Zero on employment, Mission Net Zero, zero inequality. That's the India we are building together. That's the India where entrepreneurship meets ethics, where wealth meets purpose, where every unicorn is just not profitable, it is purposeful. We once were the Sone ki chidiya ko jagao, Sone ki chidiya, the golden bird of wisdom, wealth, and world leadership. And now it's our turn to awaken her again, not through politics or power, but through purpose and protection. Let every startup be a seed. Let every founder be a reformer. Let every idea be protected with the same devotion that a mother protects her child. Because when we protect our ideas, we protect our nation's soul. And when we build with integrity, we leave behind something more valuable than money: legacy. Legacy that lives, legacy that leads, legacy that transforms. India won freedom in 1947, but the real independence will come when every Indian is free to dream, create, and own what they build. I have been into this industry for last 12 years now. Been a serial entrepreneur, investor, venture capitalist, Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt, creator of a designer unicorn proprietary framework, and somebody tried to copy my framework as well. Over the last 4 weeks, we have explored why startups fail, why cash flow is king in week 2, how to build a customer acquisition engine in week 3, and how to scale without chaos using systems in week 4. Today, we come to a critical area that makes or breaks billion-dollar dreams: intellectual property, legal, and finance. And here is the harsh truth you should realize. Many startups collapse, and not because of weak ideas, but because they didn't protect what they built. Others scale but lose equity because they didn't structure their finance and fundraising properly. And many great founders never raise capital because they are not investor ready. That's why today's session is titled Protect, Fund, and Scale Your Unicorn. By the end of this Bringle Talks, you will know how to secure your IP so nobody steals your dream, structure your finances so investors trust you, get investor ready to raise funds confidently. And why IP, legal, and finance are startup lifelines. Let's face it, 85% of unicorns value today is intangible asset: brand, patents, IP, contracts. Startups lose millions because they fail to protect their ideas, technology, or brand identity. And finance, most founders confuse valuations with cash in hand. They dilute too much equity too early. They treat fundraising like begging instead of creating an investor-ready business. When it comes to legal, founders don't know how to register agreements, how to create agreements, don't draft contracts properly, ignore compliances until it explodes into lawsuits. You have the best product in the biggest market, but without IP, legal, and finance structures, you will lose your unicorn to someone else. There are so many IP fights which has happened in the industry. There are so many case studies. One of the IP case study is about Burger King. Check that out. What is the case study? There is a US Burger King entity and there is an Indian Burger King entity, and how they collided and what happened. Grofers. that actually has an IP history. They purchased the name from someone else who were using it. See, remember, step one, you have to work out your design your unicorn model with your IP, legal, and finance framework. Number one, investor readiness. Have a clean cap table, clear equity splits, data room provided, financials, projections, compliances, everything is provided to the valuation models aligned. Step two, protect your IP. Trademarks, set up trademarks for your brand identity, patents for innovation, copyrights for content, NDAs and contracts for partnerships. Do everything. Have cash flow mastery. Separate OPEX versus CAPEX. Build 18-month runway. Forecast with 3 scenarios, best, realistic, and worst. Have annual maintenance contracts, recurring revenues to stabilize inflows. Focus on recurring incomes. Design your unicorn pillars cover the financial intelligence plus innovation and IP protection. Among the 105 factors, this includes cap table design, cash flow, velocity, patents, tax optimization, investor decks, and compliance readiness. Here is a real case study I'm sharing. A startup built amazing robotics technology, but no IP filings in international markets, no structured financial reporting, weak contracts with the clients. Design your unicorn diagnostics showed them risk of competitors copying their technology, investor distress because books weren't clean, legal exposure in contracts. After 9 months of working together, filed 7 international patents, cleaned up compliance and audit reports, built investor-ready financial model, raised 6 crores at a valuation of 2.5x higher because of the patents. Because IP plus legal plus finance is the foundation of investor trust and billion-dollar scale. Here are the action steps for you. And there are the immediate action plans. Write down this. Pick up your copy, book, and pen. Register your brand trademarks today. File at least 1 patent or copyright if you have innovation. Clean up your financials. Hire a CA or CFO level advisor. Build an investor-ready data room, deck, compliance, financials. Because remember, investors don't invest in ideas. They invest in protected, structured, and finance-ready businesses. Friends, let me close with this. Ideas are fragile, capital is impatient, and competitors are ruthless. The only way to build your unicorn is to protect your ideas, structure your finances, and be investor-ready. Here is what to do right now. Subscribe to Bringle Talks YouTube channel and watch it 10 minutes daily at 2x speeds for 100x plus growth. Turn on notifications so that you don't miss next Tuesday. Download your free book, Design Your Unicorn, in the link in the description below. Buy the entire book of Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao, Volume 1, Mission Zero on Employment, where we talk about the entire Design Your Unicorn methodology for all the 4 areas, 7 pillars, and 105 factors, which can make or break your businesses. We'll be soon coming out with our new book, Design Your Unicorn, focusing only on transforming your ideas into a 3 to 5 years time, into $1 billion companies. If you buy this book of Volume 1, Mission Zero on Employment on Amazon, Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao, we will give you 50% discount on that book. Don't forget, watch the 21 Days Business Sustainability Challenge with 80 speakers from 30 plus countries in the Design Your Unicorn Tuesdays playlist. Watch the 4 weeks Design Your Unicorn series with question and answers and FAQs for startups and MSMEs. Again in that playlist. And the book, Volume 1, Mission Zero Unemployment, Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao, don't miss that. Once you click the link, you will get a complimentary ebook version of the same. Next Tuesday, we will dive into founder DNA and leadership pillar. Why the founder's mindset, adaptability, and decision-making discipline decide whether your business survives or scales. So subscribe, turn notifications on, and I'll see you in the week 6. This is Ansshav Jain, also known as Anshavatar, signing off. Dare to dream big or die wondering what could have been your $1 billion dream. So let's speak loud. Jagao, jagao, har ghar tirange ke saath, har ghar sone ki chidiya ko jagao. Let's awaken the golden bird hidden inside each of you. Let's transform the world into a beautiful place to live. Keep spreading the Bringle dream wave. And keep bringing, keep growing.